Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the peripatetic one, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how-to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show. Japan is a very popular destination with over 10 million people visiting the country each year. Today I have a young lady who did not only visit Japan but lived there for several years. Today she's going to give us an insider look on one of the most exotic countries on earth. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi.
Please introduce yourself to the insiders.
Okay. Hi, insiders. I'm Stephanie, and I lived in Japan for 5 years and recently moved back home to Jamaica to live.
Okay, awesome. So when exactly did you move to Japan?
I moved to Japan in March 2013.
Okay, so that was after the great earthquake that they had.
Right.
Yes. What was your first impression of Japan?
So actually, when I moved in 2013, I moved to Fukushima.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what to expect because of the earthquake, but I found it was freezing cold, first of all. I was very cold.
It was in March.
It was, March, end of March, early April. It snowed. I needed to buy boots because it was still snowing. I needed to get like jackets and stuff. It was my first time in such cold weather. Okay. So it was really cold.
You lived in the mountains or something, because usually the impression of Japan is like of being a warm country for some strange reason. But now you're saying it was really cold. Did you live like in the mountains or something like that?
I lived in a village in the Inaka in Fukushima. So it was farmland. There were mountains, but I think it was plains and farmland. Right. People always think about Tokyo when they think about Japan.
That is true. That is so true. Mm-hmm. So, why did you decide to move to Japan? I mean, I know it's a beautiful country, and I mean, it is definitely an exotic place. But why? Why did you decide to move to Japan?
I wanted to get out of Jamaica for a while, to be honest. And I had always wanted to try teaching English overseas. And so I did a TESOL course online and started applying to jobs. And the job that I got in Japan is just the one that worked out first.
Okay, so that's what TESOL course. Could you explain what that is a little?
Yeah, sure. TESOL is teaching English as a secondary language, or sometimes it's called TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language. And so you can do these courses online or at a college or something, and you get a certificate specifically for teaching English overseas, and it really helps in getting a job.
Okay, really? Oh, wow. So you find it to be helpful?
Yeah, it was definitely helpful. Yeah.
Okay, so you were in your story now. You were saying you did the course online.
Right, did the course online, and the place that I did it through, they helped me to sort through my options. There are some countries that only take teachers from certain. But Japan is one of those places. Japan is one of those places that take most people.
Okay, good, fantastic. Yeah. So, preparing to move to Japan must be costly. How much would you estimate someone need to move to Japan?
The company that I went over with suggested that we bring $2,000 to $2,500 US in cash.
Yes.
When coming to Japan, yeah, and I found that kind of crazy, but I did it. I went over there with $2,000 US, and it was really helpful. In fact, I think about $2,000 would be right, because there are so many startup costs for you to deal with housing and transportation and just day-to-day living, food and having a social life early on and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you do need some cash to make the move. All right,
You need a
understood.
lot, yeah.
Understood. So we often hear about the long hours that Japanese people work. Did you experience this?
I did. Not in my first job was in public schools, like most people, I think. But eventually I switched jobs and I was at a private kindergarten where I was more of a homeroom teacher and not an English teacher. And there I was working like 8 to 8
Wow,
days.
8 to 8.
8 to 8 sometimes. Yeah, it happens. Wow. It happens. And the overtime pay is not a thing in Japan. So,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was it easy to change companies because you said you moved from the public to a private institution or to the private company? Was it easy to do that?
I was driven to do it. I really wanted to change, so that made it easier. But I had to move cities again. I had to find my own apartment. I had to move. I had to get the moving company to have all my things packed up and transported. And so there are technical challenges that you face, like logistical challenges that you face. But my new company was quite supportive, and wherever they could help out, they did. And that made it a little easier. But just dealing with it, the foreign language, like you're doing it in a foreign language, first of all.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't really have the network of friends to help you out with packing and sending stuff and things like that you would have if you're doing it in your home country.
Yes.
So it was challenging, but it was a learning experience.
Okay. You mentioned the language. How is your Japanese?
It's good. I hope I'm not forgetting it too much, but it's pretty good. Okay. It's pretty good. I talk to my friends every now and then.
So you'd say that you're fluent then?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So intermediate. I'll take that.
Okay.
All right. Good. So once again, the students, you said public school. What age students you worked with in the public school?
I was in junior high school mostly, so 10 or 11 up to 13 years old, just about.
Okay. And what was that like, teaching those students? Did you have fun? Was it difficult?
It was mostly fun. Once you get accustomed to what it is that the teachers expect from you,
yes,
it's easier to have fun with the students. The older kids, I realized that the more positive their image is of English, the more motivated they feel to learn, the more they try to reach out to you and communicate with you. And they say the weirdest things. Sometimes they're just grabbing for all the English that they know, and they would say the weirdest things, and they would write love letters and
just have fun with the subject. Okay.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed junior high school.
Great. So here's a trick question now. So without thinking about the long hours, which one did you prefer? Did you prefer the kindergarten kids, or did you prefer the junior high school kids?
Kindergarten.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Yeah, I've always loved kindergarten, and so to get the job that I had, you had to have a certain level of Japanese, and you'd have to have had some experience with kids in the past. Okay. And so my Japanese was pretty decent by the time I moved to the kindergarten. And it was hard work, but it was a lot of fun. You form really personal relationships with each of the kids because you're their homeroom teacher rather than their English teacher. And you're directly in touch with their parents. Okay. You're responsible for their day-to-day activities. So it was challenging, and it was I really enjoyed it.
Okay, I can imagine. So, was it all work or did you get to have fun? Did you get to do fun things? What was it? What was your social life like?
I had a lot of fun in Japan. Yeah. In Japan, people go to bars and just drink. That was new for me. That wasn't something that I did in Jamaica at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Just go to a bar and get drunk and stumble home and then have to go to work in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, no, but that's what they did over there. So I had a fun social life. I had friends who I'd go out with every now and then, or we just
Okay. All right. Thank you. So basically, I mean, the whole thing that people say about Japanese people being conservative in social settings, I mean, we can throw that out the window. That's not true, right?
That's not true. They're very open and themselves in social settings. At work, then they're kind of uptight and they're like very quote unquote Japanese at work. But when they go out and they start drinking and smoking and stuff, they're let loose and
Okay.
they change. Yeah, they change.
Okay. They're more open after. Well,
The
they're more open
bears.
when they're outside, when you're having fun. But when it's work
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
it's just work time. Okay, understood.
yeah.
Did you get to travel to other countries in Asia, or was it just Japan that you stayed in?
I did. I traveled around Japan a bit, but I went to South Korea and I went to Hong Kong as well. Those were the two, yeah, places that I traveled to in Asia. It was great. It was really,
Any memories from those places? Anything that stood
definitely,
out?
yeah.
Okay,
It
let's
was
hear it.
in
Let's hear
South
it.
Korea.
Yes.
Korea, I went to South Korea twice, and the shopping is really good. The second time I went, I didn't put anything in my suitcase.
Really?
I just went, yeah. I just went
What
with the clothes on my back.
what is it about the shopping in South Korea? Is it the price or is it like the quality of the goods that you get?
It's both because you go out into the street market and you can bargain down on the clothes
Oh,
and
really?
they're really good. Yeah, and the quality is really good. I still have some of my favorite shirts and
Yes.
stuff are from South Korea and from Hong Kong as well. You just go into the market and tell them no, like that's too expensive and they mark it down and you just, yeah, and cosmetics also. Getting cosmetics in Korea and skincare is a lot of fun.
Really?
And
It is the first time I'm hearing that about South Korea. I know that they have the goods like the skincare goods and so forth. But in terms of like shopping for clothes, I've never heard that about South Korea. Hong Kong, I've heard it about because the link with China and so forth. But
that's
regarding
right.
to South Korea, I've never heard that. Really? And you can bargain down. Wow.
It's,
So
yeah, some of the vendors. I even bought my sister-in-law and I actually linked up in South Korea and we went into this shop, this shoes store, and the owner was so excited to have two Jamaicans in his store. He sold us the like same pair of sneakers at a discounted Jamaica price because we were buying two, like each of us got a pair, and he just put the price down. He was so excited.
but I mean, I'm assuming that you don't speak Korean, right?
No, not at all.
So how do you bargain? How do you get these bargains? Come on, share the secret, spill the beans.
I know, right? They speak English a little bit. The vendors speak a little bit of English, and if you tell them no, too much, then they're just like, okay, down, and they know their numbers. They pretend that they don't know, but they definitely know at least
Okay.
the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. All right. So, um, challenges. I mean, let's going back to Japan. What challenge or challenges did you face, or should persons who are thinking about moving to Japan think about facing?
Challenges are. I had a challenge with the not with the culture, but I guess making friends, making genuine friends was hard for me. It was hard to find a crew,
Yes.
like a set crew of people who you could call on if you needed help. So yeah, so you feel very lonely sometimes. Japan can get lonely, or even if you can be in a big city, like you can be in a Tokyo or Osaka and have a bunch of people around you, and it just feels very lonely, and it's something you have to learn how to cope with and go out, like push yourself to go out and meet people and do new things, because otherwise you just work and go home.
Would you describe yourself as an introvert or?
More of an extrovert, I think.
Okay.
More of an extrovert.
Okay. So actually, so going out and meeting people is not something new to you. Like you actually knew how to do that before moving to Japan.
I had no idea how to do that before I moved to Japan, because in Jamaica you have your friends and your social circle is set. When I moved to Japan, that was all out the window. And so going out and meeting new people and becoming friends with new people, it was weird. Not weird, it was a challenge.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a challenge, but it was good.
All right, good. Well, I mean, you seem to have pleasant memories, so I'm sure things worked out well. So, what would you say to your 15-year-old self if you could speak to her?
I would tell her to just enjoy the time in Jamaica, like enjoy time with her family and enjoy time with her friends. And it's okay to be a little irresponsible.
Okay.
Nothing too, yeah. But yeah, just enjoy the time at home, knowing that I was going to, as things are, knowing that I would be away for 5 years eventually. Just tell her to enjoy time at home with family and friends. Okay. Yeah.
Great. I like how you said that with the friends, because if a friend told you that they were planning to move to Japan next month, what would you say to them?
I would tell them to go for it. Go and do it. And I would offer them help. I've helped a couple of people with transitioning to Japan and moving over there and just stuff like that. I've been able to give people advice, and that feels good. So if anyone wants to go, then I would say definitely just go.
Okay, and you're transitioning so well, because the next thing is I want to thank you for coming on the show, and please tell me how persons can reach you if they would like to. Yeah.
Sure, mainly on Instagram. My Instagram is public, so it's stephiistephii, stephiistephii.
Okay, good. So that's stephiistephii on Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Stephanie.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.